Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
Stories in the Room.
This is Michael Jackson's Thriller album, Stories in the Room. Join film composer Anthony Marinelli, who programmed synthesizers for 7 songs on Thriller, and A&R veteran film producer Stephen Ray, who assisted Quincy Jones and was in the studio every day with Quincy and Michael.
Michael Jackson's Thriller album, Stories in the Room.
I'm Anthony Marinelli with my longtime close friend and co-host, Stephen Ray, bringing you the real stories directly from the talented people in the room with us during the making of Thriller, the greatest selling album of all time. The Thriller video is the iconic video of the time of all of the MTV videos.
Yes.
It was the game changer for videos.
Yes.
Because now people were creating visual music, like we were saying earlier. When you heard the track, it was conjuring up the images.
Yes.
Like maybe even before you even got into this, deep into the choreography, because it did for everyone. So it created visual music, and
It really
it changed
did.
everything.
It did. And the other thing, I see choreographers today, who have been so inspired by how to interpret, music, because it brought a new kind of character. It just wasn't, the guy next door, the girl next door, at the club. It was just a total different way of presenting music and presenting video and finding characters that we don't see every day, right? And even hip hop lended itself to the movement, a little bit differently. It's the first time we saw hip hop really have a more expansive interpretation of music when it had a character to it. So the guys at the end that, wave and there's no head, they get rid of their head because the shoulders are up and all you see is their neck, their shoulders and their neck and their hand. It was like, oh wow, that's so interesting. I couldn't do that, but they could do that. And so I had a different respect for even hip hop at that time.
Right.
It seemed to have all come from opera in a way. I'm drawing really far back, but the idea of taking a song and then having all these things come up out of the song, like movements come out of the song and costumes come out of the song, and the lead characters singing, isn't it? I mean, when you really think about it, even hip hop, but that's how these interesting new, I guess, styles started putting so many things. And then when you said everything was changing, it was a time where it was like a melting pot of ideas and different artists and their views of what they're doing mixed in with a lot of different styles and techniques.
Exactly.
And then technology thrown into it.
Yeah, creativity just went to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And especially with Michael's music, I always remember the time and how, the many people that were in that video was crazy, you know. And then it joined special effects and music and dance together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all of that, Michael he explored the optimum possibilities of what this song could really, really mean and how we can show it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to screw that up. I think because it sounds great to have all that stuff, but it's easy for it to fall down and to implode when you have so many moving parts.
Yeah.
But I think there was a strong vision from the artist, ultimately,
Yes.
being front and center of the whole thing, that it would stay glued together.
Yeah.
Because they were thinking so big.
So big.
Yeah.
So big. I think he really liked special effects or, the magic of film and TV and what we can do now. And I don't know how much he was into that, but it was just really great to be part of Thriller because it really merged a lot of that. That whole thing of him becoming a werewolf, he loved it.
Yeah.
He this
especially
was
loved
like,
that.
he especially loved morphing into this new person. And it's so funny when a costume can have a very strong, effect on your movement. It can lend it's like you have on a new skin. You take on a new persona. And it helped everyone and especially helped him. And he loved playing this werewolf.
Yeah, he was scared.
Well, you
us.
could speak to that.
He
You were
was,
with him on the set.
Yeah, when we shot up in Griffith Park, when they shot up there, he would scare half the crew. Me being one of them, he jumped out from behind a tree in Quincy, and I jumped because he was he loved to do pranks.
Right.
But he was really engaged in the character, literally, and he would walk around set like a werewolf. I mean, people didn't. I mean, literally didn't want to talk to him because they were afraid. I mean, 'cause he was really into that. But the other thing I know that he was really engaged with was African dance, and a lover of that, a lover of watching that many people come together, whether it's in the Zulu tribe or one of the other tribes, do all that dance of celebration. And,
Yes.
he was really into that,
Well, he was having fun, though. The way you've described the stories on the set of Thriller, he wasn't too serious, I guess.
No,
right?
no, he was having a lot of fun.
Did he bring the snake?
I didn't see the snake.
I
People
didn't
say they
see
saw
the
the snake. I didn't see the snake. Yeah.
The monkey was there,
Yeah, the monkey was there. Yeah, true. Yeah.
What was
Definitely.
the monkey doing?
hanging out. I'm gonna bring my friends, my posse with me.
Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, but when we shot up in Griffith Park, he didn't have the snake with him. I didn't see the snake, but that was another very late, cold night up in the hills, literally up, and he was.
So what was shot in Griffith Park? Thriller?
Yeah, when the werewolf scene where he I think it's in the opening of it where
he's walking through the street.
He's walking, and then the werewolf. Then he turns into this werewolf, and he.
Right, because they were in a house watching a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's basically Thriller in downtown. I mean, Griffith Park in downtown LA.
Well, as if the werewolf came from there and went.
Where it was shot, though.
Where it was shot was in Griffith Park.
And nothing.
The
was shot on
werewolf
a set?
part of because but when he's downtown, he's not a werewolf. You remember when he's.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering about the locations. Was any of it shot on a set, or was it all?
No,
shot?
no, it was all-
none of it was
no
shot
set.
on a set.
No,
All
exterior.
exterior.
That's what I'm saying. We were up in Griffith
Yeah.
Park. It was cold that night.
Yeah.
And kind of creepy because you're up there at night, there's still back then, bears and mountain lion and, so
Right.
in the back of your head, as somebody who's not directly involved with the production, you're just kind of looking around.
You don't know if you want to stand around too long.
Yeah, we had LAPD up there and sheriff up there, there was
Right.
a lot of security, of course. They weren't, the interesting thing about being up there weren't fans like there were downtown.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we didn't have all the extra people hanging out. It was,
They didn't know about it.
no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we had fans. Everything was done on the streets. When we did Smooth Criminal, we were on a soundstage.
On the soundstage, yeah.
Matter of fact, I think he had 3 sound stages,
Right.
all at the same time.
Wow.
Which ones? Down in LA.
It was I think we shot it at Culver City Studios,
Mm-hmm.
and he had 3 sound stages. That's
Well,
Wow.
that was
On the
at
Culver lot.
Apex.
Wow.
On
that's
the- yeah.
Apex.
Yeah.
What were the magical moments of those videos? Either Thriller, or was there one that really stands out for you? Like for you
What?
as an artist too.
First of all, Thriller always stands out to me because it was, we see what it is right now, and it's like it was innovative at that time. Smooth, but nobody could see my face. I have to say that's me right there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But in Smooth Criminal, you could see me, and it was very special because each one of us, usually dancers, get old costumes. You don't always have a costume made for you. And they made each one of us a costume. And it was based on, and then we had to find who our character was. And this was the whole thing that Vince did. And so we all had to pick a name, and we had to figure out what is our backstory, and we had to play that backstory out in how we moved and how we moved through, the video. Why are we there? What happened before? Why are you drinking? Why are you dancing? Why are you not dancing? It was really incredible, and that was a month. I think we rehearsed maybe 2 weeks, and we shot for a month.
Wow.
That's the longest you've ever shot a video?
A video.
Look how
Yes.
different that is from Thriller.
Yeah, we shot for a whole month. And it was great because we were making film money. He paid us as if we were a SAG.
Well, you were acting.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, you were.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I
And the
mean,
production was actually bigger.
Yes. But again, this music, Smooth Criminal, love that music. I could never stop hearing that song. I never wanted to stop hearing the song. There was something about it. But I never knew that we would always like, who's Annie? Like, why did he say Annie? And we never asked him.
you never knew.
Never knew until I saw the documentary about it being the doll that you learn how to do CPR with. That doll is called Annie.
So for all the getting into character, that was skipped.
Yeah. It was such an exciting time. We loved being together as dancers. We felt like we lived together almost because we were there every day for like a month straight in the same costume every day. Different people would come through. I mean, everyone came through. Everyone came through. I met so many people. And then he bought the Ladysmith Black.
Black and Basil.
Yes, he brought them in.
Yeah.
We didn't know they were there.
Joseph was the leader. Yeah.
Yes, and he said, everyone come back to lunch, from lunch, put on your costume, sit down, close your eyes, and do not open up your eyes. And so we came back from lunch, put on our costumes, sat down on the floor. He says, everyone, close your eyes, do not peek. And all of a sudden they come in and they start playing. It felt like a lullaby. Half of us started crying. Mm-hmm. And he says, and I don't want you to open up your eyes until you're ready. It was just a moment. It was a sensory moment. And when we awakened, when we finally woke up, they had on, the costumes that were styled, and they ended up being in the video. I thought this was something he thought of at the last minute. I don't think it was a plan, but they ended up being in the video at the end.
But that's my point, what I was saying about him being in love with African dance.
Right.
Ladysmith Black and Basil is the Zulu.
Yes.
They're Zulu.
South African,
South
yes.
African Zulu. And I actually had the fortune of meeting them and getting a hug from all of them. Yeah.
He
They
had
were-
costumes made for all of them.
Join us for the next episode of Michael Jackson's Thriller album, Stories in the Room, with your hosts, Anthony Marinelli and Stephen Ray. Watch our extended interviews on youtube.com/@StoriesInTheRoom. Audio-only interviews are available on all podcast networks. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok @StoriesInTheRoom. For the latest news and links, visit the website, storiesintheroom.com. This podcast is produced by Christian D. Bruun and David Wolf, recorded by Audivita Studios. Additional recording by Ben Rackless. Edited by Jay Spang and Sean Hedinger. Music by Anthony Marinelli and Stephen Ray.
Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
Stories